think. Oh, here we go. All right. I think I figured it out. I think I'm live. All right. Side chat. Let me know if you can see me, if the audio is good, all that jazz. Let me know. Because I think we're good. I can't tell. Because I'm doing this through OBS. Because YouTube changed some things up. So I'm going through OBS to try to figure this out. And I think I'm good. Let me know how audio is, if you can hear me, all that kind of stuff. I will wait for y'all to maybe tune in here. Awesome. Sir Flesh Wound can hear and see me now. Cool. All right. So, guys, this is going to be my real-life ghost stories. And it's not... So, I'm going to... Okay, Carrie's almost here. All right, well, I'm going to be kind of doing a little background of like what Halloween is and everything and how it got to be spooky and why trick-or-treating? Where did trick-or-treating come from? So let me pull up my notes here and my handy-dandy iPad. All right, so yeah, tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about my true-to-life ghost stories. And I've had, as I read them here, I've had 9 different encounters. Or me and my wife, we've had like 9 different encounters and things that have happened to us. And so first of all, while we're waiting for people to kind of trickle in here, my wife was just peeking around the corner. While we're waiting for people to trickle in here, I'm just going to do a background of what Halloween is, how it came to be. And this is just, wait, take off the mask. Nice, Justin. Real funny. So this is going to be verbatim of what I've just, man, notes and everything. RayRay's on top of it. I'm on top of it. So this is like what Halloween originated, how it originated, ish, from what we know through history. All right. So Halloween is believed to have originated and derived from the ancient Celtic festival Samhain, which I know I totally butchered the word. You could look it up. It's Samhain, but it was a like Gaelic Celtic festival. Let's see. Hope it's not too scary. I don't have anyone to hide behind. All right. When I get into the ghost stories, you're gonna have to turn the lights down low to really get the full effect. But so this festival marked the end of harvest season in this Celtic era and the beginning of winter. Bonfires were lit to apparently ward off dark spirits and bring protection and cleansing powers. They also believed by doing specific rituals around the bonfires, they would dress up in different like animal skins and things like that. And they actually had their own Halloween type costumes back in the day. But they would dance around these bonfires and do these different rituals, which they believed, let's see, they believed that dancing around and doing these rituals would ensure the livestock and people would survive throughout the winter. They also believed on this date the spirit world and our world crossed. So they would leave out treats and offerings to please the pagan gods and the souls of the dead. Throughout time, it's believed the pagan holiday was Christianized in the early, like 6th century or so, like early centuries. They started to, what was it? I believe they started to Christianize it as far as making this festival and this holiday more of a remembrance of the dead. Which, if you can think to the Day of the Dead in the Hispanic festival, it's like that's how they honor their dead with the Day of the Dead, which I don't know. It all seems to derive from the pagans from England, Scotland, Ireland, all up in that area. Let's see. let me read some of the comments down here. Must be some Wisconsin stuff. Beast nose. Yeah, we are a weird breed out here. All right, so Sir Flesh Wound. While we still got people coming in. Sir Flesh Wound has been sharing me these videos of these Wisconsin guys. I think the one guy is You Betcha, is his like Facebook thing. The other guy is what is his name? Charlie Beerens or something. He's the Manitowoc Minute guy. So Sir Flesh Wound has been having a little fun with our Midwestern quirks, I guess. What's up, Chris? All right. So where do we leave off here? All right. So after the pagan holiday was Christianized, and it's almost like a big game of telephone, is how these holidays work out. It starts as one thing, and then throughout the years, thousands of years, it just turns into other things. All right. So we went through what the pagan holiday was. What's up, Open Road? So we talked about what the pagan holiday was about and how it was now Christianized to honor the dead, and things like that. So now, how does trick-or-treating play into all this? Now, if we go back and look at how the pagans honored the dead, what's up, Moto Carry? Honored the dead by leaving out treats and offerings for the gods and all that stuff. There's a stupid Prius in my garage. Oof. I'm sorry, Chris. Oof. Get out of here, Prius. All right. So now trick-or-treating, guys. How did trick-or-treating become into all this? How did trick-or-treating come into play? From a pagan holiday marking the end of the harvest, the beginning of their winter. How did trick-or-treating come in all this? Now, as I just said, we look back at the pagans, how they had offerings and food, and treats they would leave out on the 31st, and how they believed that those offerings would please the pagan gods and the spirits who had passed. So trick-or-treating, in a way, is still like a relevant thing for them to hand out treats as kids now, go around dressed up as ghouls and ghosts and all kinds of creepy things. And that's kind of cool if you kind of think about that and look back. But now trick-or-treating dates back to like the Middle Ages, to where, let me see here. So trick-or-treating or guising dates back to the Middle Ages, where people would go door to door on Halloween dressed in disguises, and they'd sing and dance for food or drink. And in different regions, like I said, it's like a big game of telephone. How people, like the different regions, would do different things, like it is today. But different regions would go door to door, and some would demand food or drink. And after they did their little dance or whatever, some would demand food or drink, and then they would tell the homeowner or whoever answered the door, they would demand food or drink, or they would tell them that you will have terrible things bestowed to your home, or general well-being of your home. Oh, what is this? So I think Moto Carry just mentioned me in her story to get you guys in here to watch this. So this is just a little background of what trick-or-treating is and all that. And again, through the hundreds of years of all of this, trick-or-treating, going door to door and things like that, now it's just mainly for the kids. Going door to door, asking for treats. But it's cool, like, to really figure out how trick-or-treating came about and why Halloween is supposed to be spooky. Now, the pagans also believe that during this time period, during this time of year, um, the spirit world and our world, would kind of mesh and everything, and they just believe that, the ghosts and the spirits and fairies and things like that. So that's partly why Halloween is supposed to be spooky and scary, um, just because of all that. And they used to, what's the word I'm looking for? Sacrifice. Yeah, they used to sacrifice animals during these bonfires also. So just throughout the history, Halloween has been pretty spooky. Has been a pretty spooky thing. Jeez, did you guys hear that? Our neighbors are freaking loud. All right. So, everybody caught up here? Let's read down in the comments. Open Road Vlog says, "How are you doing, bro? I'm good. I am doing well." Let's see. Chris is helping his bro in the garage with the Prius. That really sucks. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see. Is the video still doing good? Because I just got something that popped up here, says the stream's bit rate is lower than recommended. I don't know how to change that. Ooh, I did not know that, Justin. Did you also mention that the kids wear costumes to protect themselves from the evil things that lurked around when they were out? I didn't know that. That's awesome. Sir Flesh Moon, I thought it was a ghost. Could you hear that, though? That was crazy. Like, I swear, sometimes it sounds like people are upstairs just like slamming bowling balls. It's crazy. All right, guys. So, are you ready for the ghost stories now? All right. I want you to turn the lights down low. I want you to dim the lights. I want you to get in the mood. I want you to get in the spooky mood because uh, I've had some people a little freaked out by this stuff. All right, so I'm gonna pull up my notes here because my wife and I, mainly me, but my wife and I, we've had quite a bit of crazy things happen. So a little background of like, yup, thud. So a little background of me, my family, things like that. So I believe I just jumped in Carrie's arms. She didn't even have time to take her gear off. So, all right. I believe, this is just personal belief, I believe some people are more connected to spiritual world than others. With no rhyme or reason, I don't know, it could just be genetics or, I don't know, things like that. But my mom was very spiritual. She worked at a metaphysical bookstore. You might know of them or see them. They're the tarot card readers, mediums, things like that. This is PG&E country. They've been setting the mood for a few days. I've heard. I am really sorry, guys. Sorry for interrupting. There's a bunch of memes of California in the dark. I just seen one. It had the bear on your state flag holding a flashlight. Thought that was pretty funny. I was gonna send it to you guys, but I thought it was too soon. Sorry. But getting back, so my mom was very spiritual. She, worked at this metaphysical bookstore. She started getting into tarot card readings, and then started dabbling into becoming a medium. So, a little background of them before that. They've had their own kind of ghost experiences back when they were living in Chicago. I don't know, back in the maybe 60s or 70s, when my sister was probably 5 years old or so. She was out actually spending the night at her friend's house, and my parents were at home, like watching TV or something, and my dad saw a little blonde girl out of the corner of his eye walk from like her hallway into the kitchen. And my dad turns to my mom and said, "Hey, I thought that Holly was spending the night at her friend's." And my mom said, "She is." So my dad whipped his head around again, didn't see any little girl, and got up, went to a room, nobody in there. So and that's the thing, my dad doesn't, he's not super, he doesn't really believe a whole lot in like ghosts and stuff like that. I don't know, he's kind of funny because he's had a few things happen to him and he's just kind of like, I don't know. And also, what do you say? Back when he was a teenager, he was staying at one of his an aunt's house, and mind you, this is in West Virginia, back in the '60s, out in the boonies. So no electricity, no running water, all that kind of stuff. Um, Staying in a cabin with no windows, just I don't know. I don't even know what was covering the windows, just like hanging sheets or something. But he was sleeping on the couch at his aunt's house, and he said he was holding on to his knife that night. But yeah, he was laying on the couch, and he heard like footsteps, clunk, 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 walk past his head into his aunt's room. So he ended up getting up, kind of looking around, thinking that maybe his aunt had gotten up. Uh, but she was still fast asleep under the covers, and he chalks it up to maybe some ghost spirit, who knows? But and that's the funny thing. It's like he's had a few things happen to him, and I don't know, isn't really a believer. I think he's a skeptical believer, even with the things that have happened. But getting into my story now. First thing that happened was I believe, I want to say probably 7, 8 years old. This is when like we had first gotten our home computer, and I'm in the computer room. I turn the computer chair off to the side, and we had a radio, a boombox for you youngsters out there. I had this boombox, and I was tuning the radio station, and as I was tuning the station, out of the corner of my eye, coming through the doorway, I saw just this shadow, but standing up, just straight up, but in the figure of a man. But no identifiable features, just a shadow. And it just walked through the doorway, right past me, out like the wall, going towards my friend Justin's house, which I don't know if he's still in here, but just walked right past me through the wall, going to my next door neighbor's house. And I remember just being kind of frozen there for a few seconds, and then running like crazy into where my mom and dad were in the living room, pretty much freaking out, like hyperventilating, not knowing what I just saw, not knowing what I just witnessed. So told my mom all about it. She was settling me down and everything, and she ended up going online and looking it up for herself. Yeah, just what I described. I said I just seen a shadow walking past me. So she looked it up, and sure enough, it was a thing. Other people had seen them. They're called shadow people, and you can look it up online on Google, all that stuff. But squeezes blankets. That's their flesh wound. So that was the very first thing that happened. Was being like 7 or 8 years old. Yep, Justin's still in here. Being 7 or 8 years old and just seeing this shadow just walk right past you. Not knowing what the heck was going on, and then squeezes Justin. See, Justin. I definitely saw something in that computer room before as well. Yeah, like my parents' house, man. Most of these stories that I tell you tonight are going to be at my parents'. So that's that. So that was the first thing, and then having my mom, a few days later, actually kind of tell me, and she actually, pulled it up on the computer and had me look at a few different pictures, and I pointed out what it looked like, and it's just imagine just a shadow that you'd normally see of your own shadow, but standing straight up and just walking like it was nothing. And you can look it up on on Google online, and there's different types of shadow people. Apparently, there's one that if it has a wide brimmed hat, they are, I guess, more sinister, and you don't want to see any of those. I don't know why. Um, I don't know, just more, I guess, bad juju or something. But the one I saw, it just looked like a person, no hat or anything, but just walking right through, right past me. Didn't stop, anything like that. So the next thing that happened, and I think Justin can really remember this one because I accused him in this story um, of some things that were going on. But next thing that happened, I want to say I was probably about 13 or 14 years old, and every summer, or yeah, like May, June time of the year, every year we would go down to West Virginia to visit my dad's family. And this year, on the way back, my parents decided to stop off at a casino in, I don't know, Indiana or something like that. So I rode the rest of the way home with my sister and brother-in-law. Time out. I'm going to catch up on some of these comments here. Squeezes an orange, Gary said. The juice is loose. Haven't had anything like that happen to me. Missing out on so much. Just wait. It gets creepier. So I am riding back with my brother and sister at the time, and or my brother-in-law and my sister, and they dropped me off at home, my parents' house, and it's beautiful, like summer night. I fire up the computer. And this is when, God, we're talking like MSN Messenger, AIM, things like that. So I'm on MSN Messenger, chatting with my friends, got my shirt off, sitting at the computer, just chatting. And I do one of these. I just kind of go up like this to stretch, just like that. And as I have my hands up in the air, stretching, I feel fingertips like run down my back. And in that instant, I jumped up the fastest I'd probably ever jumped up in my life. Jump up, I look around, and immediately I thought it was Justin. He was my next door neighbor, and I thought it was Justin, so I'm looking around, saying, all right, Justin, funny, you got me, knock it off. And house is dead quiet. We had a dog at the time, but he was still at the pound. We hadn't picked him up yet. My parents were going to pick him up the next day. So, house completely to myself, nobody here, but I thought Justin might have seen that I was home, came over to hang out or something. So, surflash mode. Sitting at your computer with your shirt off, chatting. So, I jump up, look around, saying, okay, funny, Justin. And as I'm looking around, waiting to hear somebody, waiting to hear a laugh or something from, one of my friends, don't hear anything. So on my way to the kitchen, because for some reason I thought the kitchen was going to be the safest place in the house, it's the most open area, I grab the shirt that I was wearing earlier off the chair and go to the kitchen, and as the shirt, I pull it over my head. Let me see if I can find something here. All right, got my cup. This was my birthday gift. So I don't know if we can hear this. So as the shirt is over my head, I hear this. I don't know if you guys could hear that. It's supposed to be a cup, like sliding across the like kitchen table that we had. Because we had these plastic cups at the time that I would always drink out of. They're these blue plastic cups, and I heard that sound like slide across the counter. So I pull my shirt down. I'm looking around like, all right, somebody is in here screwing with me. Kitchen is where all the knives are. So I pull the shirt down. I'm really looking around now like, all right, what is going on? Somebody is definitely in here screwing with me now. So by this point, I think I have all the lights on in the house. I'm really freaking out. Well, we have at least one race in our lives. So, pull the shirt down, looking around, got all the lights on in the house. I walk towards the back door because now I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, the back door's open, so somebody probably came in, one of my friends came in through the back door, But I go to the back door. I'm looking around, don't see anybody. And it's a calm night too. All right, I didn't hear any door open, nothing like that. But as I'm like coming back, as I'm turning around, there's this key rack that's by our back door, and it's held on like a peg. The key rack was moving back and forth, just slightly. But again, the door wasn't opened. There was no wind, like nothing like that. But it was just moving, just so slightly. Um, so I mean, you could chalk that up to me just kind of moving past it. Um, I don't know, but I just seen it moving, so I'm just kind of including that in the story. And then, so now I'm really like just kind of freaked out. So I go back into the computer room, get back on MSN, and I'm chatting with my friends. I'm just like, man, some crazy stuff is happening. I'm really freaked out. And as I'm just chatting away, I hear what sounds like a bowling ball. Just like if you've ever heard plywood um, fall, like onto concrete or something, just a sheet of plywood fall. You know that buckling noise that it makes? Just boom, and it makes that buckling noise. Um, it sounded like somebody had dropped a bowling ball or something very heavy in the living room, like threw it on the floor, and you could hear that like plywood buckling noise. And again, I jumped up and looked in the living room, which was directly across, um, like through the living room or the dining room into the living room. You know, didn't see anything, just really freaked out. And again, all the lights are on in the house, so I decided to investigate. Didn't see anything. And for the rest of the night, again, all the lights on. My bedroom light was on. I don't think I went to bed that night till probably 2, 3 in the morning. Just super freaked out. I know when my parents came home, they were laughing the next morning. They were like a little scared last night. Came home, all the lights were on. So uh, that was probably the second freakiest thing um, that has happened to me in my existence of ghost stories. Oh, we got a winter weather advisory, guys. Expires tomorrow at 3 p.m. Awesome. All right, so that was my second experience. Now, when I say that I have these like ghostly encounters and things like that, they don't all happen very often. It could go years without anything happening. Without me anything. So the Shadow People was when I was 7 or 8 years old. When I was home alone and all this stuff was happening. Like I said, I was 13, 14 years old or so. Next thing that happened. Fast forward to I was 18 or 19 at the time. I want to say 18. Um, and actually, Beast Outdoors, he lives, I believe, down the road from my parents. So, you know the house, buddy. I think you know the house. So, now, fast forward, it's about 18. I'm about 18 years old, living in South Dakota. And I was living at the time with my girlfriend's best friend. They had an extra room in their basement, so they graciously, let me live there for free. And this extra room that they had in the basement, little backstory for this: about a year prior to me moving in and everything, her father had passed away. So um, they would tell me, different stories of things that they would hear in the house and things like that. Well, being downstairs, they had one finished bedroom that was my bedroom, and the rest of the basement was pretty like unfinished for the most part. They had one bathroom that would remind you like of a bathroom stall um, at just a public restroom. It was kind of funny because yeah, it was like just plywood walls, and the door had like a spring. So if you just open the door and let it shut, it would slam shut. Um, so there'd be times I would be laying in bed, middle of the night. You would hear just boom, a slam of that door, and of course, open up the door, nobody there. Occasionally, her mom would come downstairs to smoke downstairs, and so sometimes you'd hear the door shut, but then you'd hear other commotion because somebody was actually downstairs. Other nights, you'd be laying in bed, and you could hear footsteps come halfway down the stairs. They wouldn't finish coming down, and they wouldn't finish going back up. So that was really weird. Other times you'd hear footsteps come all the way downstairs, and oh god. So sometimes you'd hear footsteps come all the way downstairs, but not come back up. You wouldn't hear any other commotion. Open the door, lights off, nobody's there. Other nights, you'd hear footsteps, you'd hear the TV turn on, and somebody was actually downstairs. So those other nights where you would hear the footsteps come halfway, then no other sounds, I would tell my friend, my girlfriend's friend, and her mom about it, and some of the things that I was noticing, and they would actually say that that her father liked to use the downstairs bathroom more than the upstairs. So that would be sometimes those weird slams of the door. Who knows? But just knowing that he liked to use the downstairs bathroom more just kind of, I guess, validated my own theories of what was going on. And apparently sometimes he would actually come halfway down the stairs, sit on the stairs, and smoke. While everybody else was downstairs, he would kind of just be sitting on the stairs while everybody else hangs out. So again, that sort of validates like some of the things that I've been thinking about. And I just got a message from Sir Fleshwound. So, so that was that. That was being in South Dakota, and some of the weird kind of experiences that I had living with my girlfriend's best friend, and just some of that kind of creepy stuff. Now, I was working as a car detailer, a porter at this car dealership, where sometimes we would have to take cars that our dealership was working on and bring them to different various locations, wherever certain people worked. We'd have to drop the vehicles off or drop the customers off, vice versa. So this one instance, I knew that we worked across the street from a state hospital. At the time, I didn't know what a state hospital was. I figured it was literally a hospital. I didn't exactly know what the state part of it meant. So this one time, we were taking a vehicle back to be dropped off, and my buddy, who was also a detailer, says, "Hey, we're going to the state hospital. Just follow me. I'll show you where we dropped this guy's truck off. He's in maintenance. So I'm following him, and we get to this old, I guess the old part of the state hospital, because there was a really old part and then a new part that they had built. Well, as soon as we go through these like iron gates, I just get this really like heavy feeling. It's just, hey, what's going on, Bismoto? But I just got this really like heavy kind of, I don't know, it's like sad, dark feeling. And just like as I'm following my buddy and I'm just looking at this really old building, and again, you can Google this. Just type in Yankton State Hospital, Yankton, Yankton, South Dakota. And yeah, just going through the gates, you get this just like heavy, sad feeling. And after I dropped off the truck, got in my buddy's truck that he was driving, and as we were like leaving, I'm like, man, like what is this place? I just like really got the creeps. I just don't feel right. And he's like, man, this is the state hospital. I'm like, what's the state hospital? I don't, I'm like, I see bars on the window and stuff. He's like, yeah, it's insane asylum. It's a loony bin. And he goes, this is the old section from like the 1800s. And then he was pointing to like a separate section where the people patients, I guess, who have died in the care. We're all buried in this other cemetery on the side. So I don't know. I don't know. You could chalk that up to just a weird feeling or just dark negative energy. Don't know. But all I know is as soon as we drove through the gate, I just got this really heavy, dark feeling. Um, so just now knowing that that was a state hospital makes sense, I guess. Just knowing everything that had happened in my past, everything that my mom had talked about as far as like in spiritualism, stuff like that. So next thing that happened, let's see. So we had the insane asylum. I got it written down here as notes. Insane asylum creeps. So fast forward about a year. Um, my girlfriend and I had broken up, so I moved back home. And now living at home, uh, yeah, I'm not creeped out of the house. It's my childhood home. I was pretty much born and grew up there. So moving back home felt awesome. But pretty soon after I moved home, I started having some more strange things happen. So first strange thing that happened was laying in bed, middle of the night, laying in bed playing video games, and I had this American flag hung up above my bed. And as I'm laying there, I look up, and a centipede is hanging from the flag. So I jump up, freaked out, and the centipede falls into the bed. And at that point, I said, "Nope, I am not sleeping in here tonight." So I grab a blanket, go over to the couch, and in the living room, and I curl up on the couch. And as I'm laying there, I keep hearing like a click noise. And this is another throwback. My parents have a VCR. So I kept hearing this click noise. Thanks, guys, for the likes. If you haven't already, click the like button. I see 2 of you have already clicked the like, so thank you guys. So I keep hearing this click noise, and if you guys can remember, like when you would turn the VCR on, sometimes it would like kind of click, click on. And so I'm laying there, and I'm just hearing this like kind of clicking noise. So I'm looking around, and on the VCR, excuse me, on the VCR, on the display, normally you turn it on, it would say welcome or something like that. I keep hearing the click, and it says hello. So I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking it's like resetting or rebooting or something. And then it would go blank, and then hello would flash across again. And I'm like, is my head resting on the remote or something? I was really confused. So I pick my head up, and I'm looking around for the remote, thinking that maybe, my pillow or my head is hitting the button. But the power remote for the VCR was actually on the other side of the couch. It was like an L-shaped couch. I was here, the remote was on the other side. So now I'm kind of sitting up, just trying to take it all in, because from everything that had happened before, I told myself that if any weird stuff happens again, I just kind of want to just sit back, take it in, see what I can get out of it. And so I'm sitting there, and it flashed across again. It said hello. I'm like, I wasn't speaking out loud or anything, but I'm just sitting there. And so as I'm just like seeing this stuff flash across the screen, then it starts going like dash 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 blank dash dash dash, and then it would say goodbye. And then that was it. That was it for the rest of the night. So the next morning, I told my parents, I'm like, man, I don't know, there's something wrong with your VCR. It kept, stuff kept popping up on the VCR last night. Kept saying hello, hello, and then it went through all these different dashes, and then it said goodbye. So I'm like, all right, let me try to recreate this. So I went up to the VCR, and I hit the power button, and it would say welcome. I could not once get it to say hello. I hit the power button, and it says welcome. I go grab the remote, hit the power button, it says welcome. So I was trying whatever I could to recreate what had happened the night before to get it to say hello. Still couldn't figure it out. But you hit the power button, and it would do that. It would make that click noise. but I could not get it to say hello again. So I don't know what the deal with that was. So the second thing that happened after I moved back happened pretty soon after um, the whole VCR incident. So we still had our dog Chip, and again woke up, or I was awake, but middle of the night, come out. I think I was going to the kitchen to grab something to drink, and my dog was like standing, staring off into the corner. And I thought that maybe he had a ball or something, or a toy that he was like looking at or trying to get, because he would do that where if one of his toys was kind of like hidden behind something, he would do this thing where he would stand, kind of like bark at it and stuff, but he was just standing there, just looking right into the corner. And and so as he's standing in the corner, I'm like, "Hey Chip, what's going on, bud?" And he looks back, but this time he actually comes around, uh, kind of does that like circle around, but he's in front of me, so it's almost like he's guarding me. It was really weird, but he does it again where he's just staring off into the corner, and he would slowly kind of do like, not a crawl, but he would slowly do like a hunched walk towards the corner, and then he would back up again, kind of back up into my legs, and then he would just stare. So, thinking that, all right, I'm just going to sit down and, see, what I hear, what I see, who knows. But I sit down on the couch and just sitting there taking it in. I could hear my parents in the bedroom snoring away. They don't have a TV in their bedroom. There was no other TV on. I was playing a video game, so, my game was paused. So there's no other sound except for my parents snoring. So as I'm sitting there, from the direction that my dog was staring, my cat just sneezed, coming from the direction that my dog was staring, I could hear faintly what sounded like a conversation, like background conversation, like chattering, and then an occasional like chuckle, occasional like laugh. Um, and then come to find out that when my grandpa was alive, um, so where the living room and the dining room are, it's not connected. It's separated by a wall, but there's I don't know what you call it, like an eave. There's an opening there, so you could talk to people in the living room and dining room, vice versa. So my grandpa used to like to sit up in the corner in the dining room and chat down to the people in the living room. And yeah, I don't know. I just like to think that it was my grandpa kind of stopping in or something. But yeah, I just heard this faint chatter. Just not, I couldn't make anything out of what it was, but just that background kind of noise that people were talking. And that's all I heard. That's all I'm chalking it up to, is uh, just one of those, I don't know, paranormal things that you would hear. Maybe on those, like, videotapes. Like if I would have recorded it, maybe I would have been able to play it back and actually hear something. But yeah, just weird background chatter. So that was like the second thing to happen, kind of soon after I had moved back. All right, let me look at my notes here. So yeah, I got the dog acting strange. All right, so now fast forward probably a couple years now. Um, my girlfriend, wife now, Ashley, Ashley and I were house sitting for my parents, and uh, we still had our dog Chip, but we're house sitting. We're sleeping on the pull-out couch, and my wife hears footsteps. She said it sounded like somebody wearing boots walking through the house, but she thought it was my parents, or she thought it was my dad, had come home, so she was actually pretending to still be asleep, as to not have that like awkward kind of like, good morning, sort of thing while I'm still asleep. So she said she heard should start up Ray Paranormal. I don't know, I would actually really like to kind of do that. Like, I don't know. I'd like to actually go somewhere, or I don't know, maybe get some listening equipment and try to kind of search out for things. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I've thought about it. I've actually thought about it. Uh, but so yeah, we're sleeping. I'm asleep, but she had woken up. She heard these footsteps walk through the house. But then when she woke up later, nobody was there. Our dog Chip was sleeping on the pull-out couch with us, so it wasn't him that was walking across the floor. But later on, after I woke up, she was like, "Hey, what time are your parents supposed to be home?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't think they were coming home till, like this evening." When I talked to my dad last night, they said they weren't going to be home till this evening. And she goes, "Okay," because I heard footsteps, like somebody was wearing boots walking through the house. And so, right there in that moment, I was like, "Aha!" I'm not the only one who has, heard something in this house now. I'm not the only one. So um, that was cool to actually finally have somebody else, kind of be able to verify that they, heard something. Um, and again, the only time I've seen anything was when I was a young kid, when I was, 7 or 8 years old, and I saw the shadow person. I don't believe I've ever seen an actual ghost. Mainly everything else has just been sounds or like creepy feelings or things like that. Let me catch up on this. Sir Flesh Wound show up on bikes with Bonnie on the back. GoPro equipment can double as paranormal gear. I think you're onto something there, buddy. So I should do something at my parents'. Um, so having my wife hear the footsteps, and kind of bring it up to me and be like, "Well, I heard something," because she'd known about the things that I had heard growing up or the things that have happened to me in that house. So by her hearing something, I don't know, I felt validated or I felt vindicated, I guess. I don't know. It's not that I don't know. I haven't really had a whole lot of people actually like doubt me because what am I gaining from these stories? I'm not I'm not gaining anything. It's just weird things that have happened to me. I think it's fun to tell. So yeah, after the footsteps, um, fast forward. I don't know. Let's see. This is when we were living with her parents now. Fast forward probably a couple more years. It was probably about 2 years or so. We are living at her parents now. And this is probably one of the weirdest things that I have had happen because I don't want to say I was possessed, but it felt like I was possessed. All right, let me just get into it. So, sound asleep, and I didn't know if I was having a dream or what, but this is really weird. Like, if any of you guys have had sleep paralysis, you might know where I'm kind of coming from. It's where you are asleep, you're awake, but you can't physically wake up. Um, and I don't know, I felt like it was some kind of sleep paralysis. But I was sleeping and I was awoken, my consciousness was awoken, but I couldn't physically get up or move. In a way, it felt like I was, you're trapped in your own body. So and this is all happening so fast. It's not like it's happening for minutes. It's all one fluid motion that's going on. I wake up, I know I'm awake, but I can't open my eyes, and I'm trapped in my body. And as I'm realizing all this, I feel like I'm being pushed off to the side. I feel like my um, obviously, if you've never had it happen, but just imagine somebody pushing you, but your physical being is still, and your internals are just being kind of pushed out. So in a way, I feel like I was struggling back as I'm getting pushed. I kind of felt like I was like struggling, like not knowing what's happening. And like in the movies where you see somebody just sit up, from a dead sleep, just sit straight up. That's exactly what had happened. I remember just boom, I woke up and I sat straight up, and in that exact moment that I sat up, my girlfriend, wife, Ashley, um, in a little girl's voice said, "Grandpa, Grandpa." She said Grandpa twice in a little girl's voice the very moment that I sat up. And I want to say her grandpa had passed um, probably a few years before that. She was real close with her grandpa, vice versa. So, I mean, don't, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Coincidence? Uh, was he, I don't know, was he visiting and trying to, you know, I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know. But to me, I think that's more than a coincidence. Um, I mean, he was very protective over his granddaughters, so maybe he was like just, I don't know, trying to give me a sign like, hey, stay away. I don't know. But all I know is the moment I woke up and sat up, there was no cloudiness, because I was conscious, but I was just unable to wake up. But the moment I sat up and opened my eyes, just hearing my wife, uh, in this little girl's voice say, "Grandpa," was the creepiest thing. And I shook her awake. I grabbed her shoulder and I'm shaking her awake. And I'm like, "What did you just say?" And she's looking at me like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "What did you just say?" She's like, "What? I don't know what you." I'm like, "You just said grandpa in a little girl's voice twice." And she didn't really, I don't know, think anything of it. And then I explained to her like what had happened. So I don't know if that's not creepypasta enough for you. I don't know what is, but that is the number one scariest thing that happened to me. And then after that, let's see what happened next. All right, okay. So that was back when we were living at her parents'. Now, fast forward, and we've been living in our apartment for, I want to say, 7 years now. And in these 7 years, living here, I haven't had anything out of the ordinary happen. Nothing strange. Um, you know, it's, I don't know, been kind of boring, quite frankly. But now, this is what's really weird, all right? I don't know if you guys have had, any kind of thing like this happen, but this is really weird. So, around the time when my mom was really sick this year, in the like real, I want to say like the real final stages of, her life, being in hospice, um, I started, I don't know, just getting some weird kind of vibes. My dad had some weird things happen to him at the house. My sister swears that she's seen things, but the kind of, I don't know, the first thing that happened was, um, this is before my mom had passed. It was, I want to say, maybe a couple weeks leading up to her death. But I was at my parents'. My dad was still working at the time, but I stopped at my parents' to, I don't know, I think I was getting the motorcycle or something. But I stopped to go to the bathroom, use the restroom, sitting on the toilet, and I hear footsteps. I hear like boots walk from the kitchen into the living room or the dining room, um, because where the bathroom is, it's hard to like lay it out like this, but the bathroom's here. You go through the dining room and into the kitchen, if that makes any sense. So kitchen, dining room, bathroom. So I'm sitting on the toilet, and you could hear somebody walk from the kitchen. It's a small house, so you could hear somebody walk from the kitchen through the dining room. And I immediately thought it was my nephew Bubba, because my nephew wears boots now, and I'm like, and it's not strange for him to come over, and just out of the blue, because my sister lives like up the road. So I figured he's seen me. come over, so I just figured it was him. Uh, so as I heard these footsteps come to the dining room area, kind of like where the bathroom door was, I and I didn't hear any more noise after that. I was like, all right, he's gonna try to scare me. So I finished up, and as I opened the door, I was waiting for him to jump out, scare me or something. Oh, I got you. So I was just waiting for it. But, I cautiously open the door, look around, don't see anything, don't hear anything. Thought for sure that he was going to jump out. None of that happened. So I'm like, okay. But still looking room to room, don't see nothing, don't hear him. I'm like, all right, it's weird. So walk back into the living room. Don't see him, don't hear him. The back door's closed. So now I'm just really like, what is going on? So I actually call him up, and I'm like, hey, where are you? And I think he was riding dirt bikes at his buddy's farm. And I'm like, you weren't at Grandma and Grandpa's 5 minutes ago? He's like, no, I've been riding dirt bikes the past hour or so. So like I was just like, all right. So now I heard the footsteps. I heard somebody with boots walking at my parents. Who was it? I have no idea. But that was another more recent. Now the very last thing that had happened to me was the night my mom passed. I want to say my mom passed around like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And at the hospice house, or at the hospice facility she was at, they had a chapel. And in the chapel they had kind of like a guest book, but you would sign, and it was almost like a diary if you wanted to write down your thoughts or whatever. So as the rest of the family was saying their goodbyes, and kind of comforting each other, I went to the chapel, and I wanted to write down what I was feeling in the moment, and to thank the staff for everything that they'd done for my mom. And so as I'm standing there writing in this book, I feel like somebody's behind me with their hand on my shoulder right here. But it felt like somebody had come up behind me, put their hand on my shoulder, just to comfort me. And I didn't think anything of it, because I was in my own world, just writing, and I just thought family member came up, comforting me. But as I finished writing and go close the book, go to turn around to see who it was, nobody there. So, yeah, that's the last thing, kind of weird to happen. And I don't know, I'm kind of bummed that that my mom really hasn't kind of come through and mess with me that I know of. But yeah, as far as ghost stories and stuff like that, guys, I hope that got you in the spooky mood for Halloween tomorrow. But those are my stories. Those are my encounters, things that have happened. And I don't know, by living here and not having anything happen for so long, it was kind of cool to have this stuff happen more recently. I mean, the circumstances weren't very good for it to be happening, but it was pretty cool, I don't know, to have that kind of stuff happen. And in a way, I want it to happen more often. Oh no, I forgot. Oh, I forgot one thing. All right, so we're gonna backtrack. We're gonna rewind this. South Dakota. So this is when my girlfriend and I were still together in South Dakota, and this is around the time that all this other stuff is still happening. Spooky season. This is around the time that all the stuff is still happening at my girlfriend's best friend's house. So we went to another one of her friend's house, and they broke out the Ouija board. So we were down in her friend's basement, and I'd never messed with a Ouija board before this. Never really thought about trying it. Um, Let me see. Sir Fleshwound, quite interesting to hear some real experiences from others. Maybe one day I'll encounter something I can't explain. What's your take on all of the paranormal shows after your throwback rewind? All right, thanks. So we're downstairs. Quick question. Anybody here play with a Ouija board? Anybody? I'm going to wait for some replies as I kind of tell my story. But we're downstairs, and some of her friends, before us, they were playing. And, they got the board out, they got the little triangle thing, and, the thing's kind of moving around, and, they're kind of freaking out. They're like, oh, it's moving. We're kind of, me and my girlfriend were kind of looking at each other like, yeah, okay. They're moving it, stuff like that. So, they're like, well, if you don't believe us, you can try it. So I'm like, all right. So, my girlfriend and I, sitting across from each other. Ooh, Sir Fleshwound has Ouija'd. Ooh, I'd like to hear this. But we're sitting across from each other, and so I guess what you do is you're supposed to just very, very lightly touch that. I don't know what they call the thing either, but probably an explanation. You never know. But you're supposed to just very, very lightly touch this. Like, you're not supposed to rest your hand on it or anything. It's, I don't know, you're not. It's supposed to guide you. So me and my girlfriend were sitting across from each other, and sure enough, like, it starts to move, and I look at her and I'm like, "Are you moving this?" She's like, "No, I thought you were." And it's like I said, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing, but the dial was moving, and so they were asking questions, and it was moving itself around, and I mean, who knows, maybe she was moving it, but I know I wasn't moving it. I know I was just barely with my fingers on it, like they said to be. And I can't exactly remember what it was saying, because I don't. It was because their friends were asking different questions. They were trying to get a name out of whoever it was, and then like asking the yes or no questions, like, are you friendly? It went to yes. Have you lived here? It went to yes. Things like that. It was kind of weird, but I know they got a name, but it was like a partial name. It didn't, like, the name didn't make sense. And then I don't know, they started getting into like some weird questions. So at that point, we were like, all right, we're kind of, oops. I'm like, all right, we're kind of out of here, because I don't know, I'd always heard kind of weird things about Ouija boards, like once you, like, that's kind of like opening a portal, and I don't know, you don't want that stuff to follow you. But we ended on that note, because yeah, they were getting into some weird stuff. But yeah, that was my little Ouija throwback story. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to do a Ouija board again, just because of how people say that it opens a portal, and I don't know, stuff like that. Or not a portal, but it opens to where you may have potential bad juju or bad spirits, coming in and stuff like that. So I don't want to mess with that anymore. But I will mention something about my mom, and this goes back to when she worked at that bookstore, and when she dabbled in becoming a medium. Now, right off the bat, I don't care what you think. Everybody's got their own opinions, but I mean, I believe some mediums are total crooks, total hacks, but I do believe that it is a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a viable thing that some people can actually have the gift for. Excuse me. Like John Edwards, or the Long Island medium lady. I don't know, just watching the show, and there's so many things that I don't know. I don't think that could be coincidence. That people, like, if you actually like kind of sit down and watch the show, sometimes it kind of seems like they could be fishing for things, but other times it's like it's too direct, and especially like what happened with my mom. So back when my mom was dabbling in becoming a medium, um, she would tell us that like she would meditate, and um, I guess as mediums they aren't able to directly communicate. It's more of you're taking in what it's almost like if you're sitting in a quiet room in your head, and if things are just kind of coming to you, you kind of blurt out what it could be. So my mom was doing the medium. She was giving a reading to somebody, and it was a young woman come in, and you don't they don't give their background or anything like that, because then uh, you know I think you know it would give the reader something to kind of like let their mind kind of run. So as my mom's sitting there, she she's just taking it in what I guess spirit has to say, or they're trying to get to her, and she's sitting there and she tells this young lady, she says, I don't know if this is going to make any sense to you at all, but uh, I'm hearing ice cubes clink around in a glass. Like somebody's sitting with a drink with ice cubes just kind of clinking around. And I guess at that moment, the girl started crying, got up, and like ran out. I don't want to say ran out, but just like left. Uh, and so it kind of freaked my mom out, because that after that it like ended that. Uh, the next day, the young woman came in and apologized to my mom about why she just left. She said that her father had just passed away, and that's what he would do every night after work. He would sit in his recliner and he would have a drink, an alcoholic drink like whiskey or something. And when he was finished with his drink, he would just sit there, relaxed, but sit there and just, clink the ice that was left in the glass, just clink it around. And, my mom said, that's your father's way of letting you know that he was with you right there. And I believe after that they sat back down, and my mom was able to get a little bit more out. But as years passed, I don't remember what my mom had said, what else had happened. But just by things like that, I don't, I don't think that's left up to coincidence. I think some people have more ability than others. You just have to, I guess, try to get in tune with it, and that's why I don't know, I've thought about trying to like what Sir Fleshman was saying, maybe do like some paranormal kind of activity stuff. Sensimoto lame. um, but I don't know. I'd like to maybe, I don't know, give it a shot with some paranormal type activity stuff. Maybe see what I can come up with if I get anything. But all right, let me go back up to what he was asking about the paranormal shows. All right, so what's your take on all of the paranormal shows? Um, I don't know. It's like on some of those shows, it's just it. It's I don't know. It's tough because from my own experiences, it's like from my experiences, sometimes on the shows when they have the recorders and you can hear sometimes like voices or certain things being played back. Um, sometimes I believe that more than like some of the other stuff. I do believe the orbs though. I don't know if you guys know about the orbs, but that's sometimes like when you're taking a picture, and it could be not even with the sunlight you know being a factor at all, but you'll see the white orb, and that's a big thing in these paranormal shows is seeing these orbs. Um, but it's happened with with us, with my family. We'd be taking pictures, and with the old style cameras where you have to get it developed, and you get it developed. And my sister has this picture where she was holding her daughter at the time, probably 4 years old. She was holding her, and this orb was like right over my sister's shoulder, and she was really close with her grandma, so I don't know, she's felt that her grandma's always kind of been there, protecting her and stuff. So who knows? I mean, it's not like these orbs have like names on it, like a video game or something, like so and so. But it's, I don't know. I think a lot of these paranormal shows, I know they I think they try to embellish a lot of things, but then other things are a little too weird to I don't know, to make up. So as far as those paranormal shows, 50-50. I'd say it could be, couldn't be. Who knows? I don't know. Especially with today's technology, you can make up so many different things. All right, let me read here. All right, so I'm going to just start reading what Sir Fleshman's been saying, and Beast Outdoors here. All right, so Sir Fleshman says, I have Ouija'd. Semi-interesting encounter, but probably an explanation. Beast Outdoors says, I have one in my living room, talking about Ouija boards. I have one in my living room closet, but I don't mess with that thing. Bad juju. Yep. All right, so Sir Fleshman says, I've always been interested in what science hasn't been able to explain yet. I watch a lot of paranormal shows. Two friends and I decided to mess with a Ouija board when I was around 13 or 14. They've done it in the past and swear it did weird stuff. All three of us tried it, and then individually, without anything happening, we almost gave up, then tried again together. Nothing was happening, but I noticed a white ceramic candle holder next to the board was bleeding. Ooh, that's creepy. Completely white ceramic holder with a white ceramic top piece, and it was dripping red. Also, the smoke coming from it was going straight up the table, about 2 inches, 2 feet, then right angled over the board. Ooh, all right, now that's creepy. I noticed the red, and we took the top off to blow out the candle, but it wouldn't go out with all three of us blowing on it. My friend, it was his place, dumped water on it, and the flame flared up. It was a pretty big flame from a tiny candle, and afterwards we noticed there was no wax, no wick, and no red. Thought maybe it burned down and got so hot it began to affect the ceramic. I don't know, man. That sounds pretty weird to me. That a flame wouldn't blow out because, yeah, to me that sounds like some paranormal stuff. And especially messing with the Ouija board and this stuff is happening. Cincimoto, I joined at the wrong time to say that. Would explain it. The smoke, maybe the air kicked on and hit the smoke just right. Sir Fleshwound summoned a demon. Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. So Cincy, if you're still in here, Beast Outdoors, Moto Carry, have you guys? I mean, I know Sir Fleshwound said that he really hasn't had anything else other than the Ouija board experience, but have you guys had any kind of weird things happen that really couldn't be explained through environmental things? Like some of my stories, like some I could possibly kind of explain, but then it's like the others, no clue what happened, why it happened. Let's see. Sir Fleshman says, we left his place to walk around afterwards, around 1 a.m. or so, went down to a local school park, and from a distance it looked like there were people sitting in the distance staring at us. Ooh, goosebumps. I got goosies. So, you know what show really, freaked me out back in the day was, I don't know if you guys remember it. It was on MTV and it was called Fear. They would go into abandoned insane asylums, state hospitals, things like that, and they would make the people spend the night doing different things. Um, there's been a few weird things over the years. If you care to share, you know, please indulge us. It's spooky night, guys. Tonight is Mischief night, if you didn't know. Let's see. Sir Fleshwound, my friend whose house it was, ran towards them and found there was nobody there. Our eyes were playing tricks on us, or were they? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you guys could have, I don't know, opened up something and, um, I don't know. See, it's unless you have things happen to you, then you can't. Oh, it's hard to explain. Yep, it's hard to explain. Oh, on the way back, here we go. On the way back to his place, 2 a.m. or later at the time, we heard voices, but it was quiet and not a small neighborhood, so could have been noises echoing from somewhere else. Um, you know, it could be, it could not have been. It, yeah, I mean, you guys could have definitely opened up some sort of portal or something and uh, invited some guests that were unwelcome. Who knows? Patty Outback, what is going on, buddy? Patty Outback. Years ago on Halloween, I went to leave my house to go to work. My old dog went completely mental. She was tugging at the leg of my jeans. She was clearly not happy that I was going. Later that day, I was admitted to hospital with a burst appendix. Dude, yeah, yep. Animals, man, I'm telling you. And that's like, and that's the other thing. It's like animals, they have that, that like sixth sense. How the fuck did she know? Animals, man, yeah, they just have that like sixth sense, and that's what I was talking about. How my dog, just staring off into the corner, and me thinking that it was a toy or something that he had stuck. When I turned on the light, there was no toy in the corner that he was trying to get at. He just kept staring at the corner, walking towards it, backing up, and that's when I decided that I was going to sit down and just kind of take in, excuse me, just sit down and take in what was happening. And that's when I heard that chattering, that background noise, that no other TVs were on in the house. My game was paused. My parents were snoring. I could hear them snoring in a separate spot. But it's like, what else would my dog have been looking at? I don't know. And that's the thing, Patty. It's like, animals, man, dogs especially. It's they have that sixth sense. Um, it's there's other stories like that's an awesome story. How your dog was like, no, don't don't go to work. You're gonna have some crazy stuff happen. Um, it's I don't know, animals, man. It's like when I've seen memes about it too. It like shows like a dog like staring off into nothing, and like the person like, what's the dog looking at? Like I don't know if your dog's acting weird and like acting like there's something there, you might want to like open up your third eye and really dogs are freaking amazing. Um, you might want to just like try to take it in, and like that's what I mean. That's what I've told myself now, that like if I start to kind of see that something's acting a little weird, acting a little strange, that I am going to just take it all in. Um, let's see what Beast Outdoors say. We have this old dog that is completely blind, and one day I woke up late and went into the kitchen and get some water, and the dog usually sleeps with my parents, but he was in the living room. See what else he says. But yeah, I don't know, guys. If I would encourage you guys that, like, if you start to, maybe think that something's acting a little weird, something's a little strange. I mean, I've actually been able to debunk a few things that I thought were happening, paranormal, but turned out, it was just, a light or something like that. Um, like there was this one night where I'd woken up because I thought I heard a noise, but I woke up and I saw what I thought was this like glowing like light, and like when you wake up, you usually know what things are supposed to be glowing, what things aren't. And I thought I saw this glowing light, and it looked like eyes. Um, but turns out it was this like reflection off of one electronic in our bedroom that was reflecting off of something else that actually looked like you know two eyes or something that were reflecting. So I mean, I was able to debunk my own little thing there because at first I was getting excited, like, oh, what am I seeing? But it was nothing. But yeah, I don't know. Living here in this apartment, really haven't had anything crazy happen, and like I said, it kind of bums me out. Just because all the stuff that had happened in the past, um, it's kind of weird to think that like you want more kind of weird stuff to happen. But I don't think that I will. I don't think I'll engage the Ouija board again. It's like I want to, but I don't want to. I don't know. All right, let's see what Beast Outdoors says. Um, let's see. All right, so he went up to get some water, and the dog usually sleeps with his parents, but the dog is in the living room. The dog was looking into the pitch black TV like he was seeing something, but he is completely blind, and when I called his name, it was like he didn't even know I was there, and he just wouldn't look away. Yup, that's what I'm telling you. Like, yeah, with my dog. Like, I opened the door to the bedroom, and normally, that would get a dog's attention, but no, my dog Chip was just standing up, just looking directly into the corner, like, nothing was, like he wasn't going to look away. Until, like, I actually kind of came up behind him and kind of spooked him, because that's when he turned around and walked, like, in front of me to block me. Um, but yeah, it's dogs, man, animals, crazy. All right, Patty Outback. The surgeon who removed the remains of my appendix reckoned that the old dog could literally smell the rotten, infected appendix. She knew something was up from that. Man, that's crazy. Isn't that like, wow? Oh, that is crazy. Oh, yeah, but yeah. And so around the same time that all the stuff is going on with before my mom passed, all this like weird stuff that was going on with me, like hearing the footsteps, um, and then of course the night my mom passed, having that feeling somebody put their hand on my shoulder. Um, like weeks leading up to that, my dad also had something weird happen to him in the house. But again, like I said, my dad's kind of a skeptic. Even though he's had stuff happen to him, he's still kind of a skeptic. But my dad had said that he was noticing some kind of weird sounds and weird things happen. But I've told him too. I'm like, hey, next time you think you hear something, just like let it happen. Like don't try to like interrupt it. Just like let it happen. And he actually, I think he was in the bathroom too, or he was in the bedroom, and he heard a loud noise. And man, I wish I could like show you guys pictures and stuff, but it's this old. Man, I really wish I could post pictures, but it's like this miniature cast iron stove that it was handed down from his like grandparents or something. But it's this miniature cast iron stove, and it's got these little miniature pots and pans and stuff, and it had this like little like cast iron ledge that hooks onto this thing. That little cast iron ledge fell off on its own. That's what that loud noise was that kind of freaked my dad out. He thought somebody was in the house, looking all over the house. Nobody's there. And then he saw that like ledge laying next to the little cast iron stove. So, I mean, it would take somebody actually lifting it up to have the thing fall off. So, for it to just by itself fall off like this hooked thing, going into this cast iron piece just to fall off, I don't know. It's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Let me get back in the comments here. Yeah, the white eyes that he has scares me from time to time. Yeah, I could imagine. Yep. Moto Carry says to Patty Outback, smart doggo. They more know than we do sometimes. They definitely do. Patty Outback. Definitely, she was a good doggo. Um, 3 years after that, on Halloween, she died. Oh, I'm sorry, Patty. And 15 though, she had a long life. 15. All right, Moto Carry. When I was little, maybe 8 years old, I had a bad habit of falling asleep on the couch in our living room, and my parents would just let me sleep out there with the TV on. Okay. You know what? I don't know. I miss falling asleep on the couch, like being a kid and like just miraculously winding up in your bedroom or something. Oh, you guys miss that? I kind of miss that. Sir Fleshroom. That was probably bueno then. All right. I'm intrigued, Moto Carry. I'm intrigued. I want to hear this. So, if anybody is an hour and a half into this video, rewatching this, um, hopefully you got the live chat going on with this video, so you can kind of correlate what's going on here. All right, Moto Carry says, let me repeat this. When I was little, maybe 8 years old, I had a bad habit of falling asleep on the couch in our living room, and my parents would just let me sleep out there with the TV on. There was one night the TV was off, and I just woke up for no reason, was awake for a minute or two, and saw a figure walk out from the hallway where our bedrooms were, walk across our living room, and through the front door. Didn't open it, walked straight through it. Yup, yup. Was it like a shadow, like a dark figure, just like not making any sound, just walking? Oh, I got chills. Oh man. Ooh. Patty Outback. There's loads of amazing ghost stories I know from growing up in Ireland. Oh man. Uh, See, Patty, my last name is McKnight, and I did the ancestry DNA test, and I want to know about my heritage, but I can't figure out if we came from Ireland or Scotland. Um, but just like in the beginning of this live stream, I was talking about the history of Halloween and how it really originated in like Ireland and Scotland and all that stuff, and how it was a like Celtic holiday or festival, and the pagans celebrated it, and how it like evolved into what it is now. But it wasn't Halloween back then. It was um, like something else. I forget like the name of the actual festival. But oh man, I love Ireland. I would love to visit sometime. Preach, Patty. Moto Carry says, I asked my parents about it the next day and nobody was back there. My brothers didn't have friends over. It definitely wasn't them or my dad. Didn't say a word. Male figure. Mm-hmm. Yep. Should get a live stream with Ray and Patty to discuss more stories. That would be really cool. That would be awesome. I'd love to have like other people. Now that I've told my story, it'd be cool to have like other people come on. That's the only really spooky story. The others are more like, how did how did the universe do that? Yes, Patty, that's it. Yep, yep. I don't know how to pronounce it because from when I was looking it up, I know it's not pronounced Samhain. It pronounced completely different, but that's what it was. And Patty says McKnight is probably Scottish, and that's the other thing. I was looking that a lot of McKnights came from Scotland to Ireland because they were. I know this sounds bad, but they were like persecuting the Irish, the Northern Irish for. Oh man, what was it? Oh God, for not practicing like Catholicism or something like that. I don't know. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if my ancestors did anything like that. Oh God. Yeah. Moto Carry says yes. Oh, that would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. Moto Carry has another spooky story. Sir Fleshman says she met me. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, Well, Patty, send me a link and I'll hop on, man. Um, so I definitely would, but I don't know how to do that now, especially with I want to see red hair, Ray. I'd plead Scottish. I got some grays in here now, but let's see. I mean, the beard is red. I got the ginger beard, the Scottish plantation. Long story, man. Yeah, I was yeah from the research I was trying to do. Um, yeah, I'd seen just some weird stories. So yeah, but yeah, like I would totally send you a link, but I don't know how this would work because use Zoom. Carrie, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use this thing. This is my first time. I don't know. I think this is my second time using this camera. This is my first time using OBS with YouTube Live because it's yeah, I don't know, but yeah, this is my first time using OBS, and um, if I send you a link, I don't know if OBS will like let you come in or if you have to do the Google Hangout. But then I don't know how Google Hangout would work with like OBS. We'll get this figured out. We'll get this figured out. I have black hair and green eyes. I look less Irish than you do. Moto Carry says, "What app are you using?" I'm using OBS, and because like YouTube did this new thing now, like where I thought I was just going to go through YouTube and do a live, but it said that you had to have a different plugin or something, and I already had OBS, so. Uh, Beast Outdoor says, I got to get going. Got school in the morning. I don't want to get in trouble for sleeping in class. Good night, Beast Outdoors. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for hanging out. And I'm sure I'll see you around the neighborhood. There is a link in YouTube Studio. There is a link in YouTube Studio. For what exactly? To show how to like add more people? But otherwise, yeah, we'll definitely have to like get something scheduled. To where I could get some other people, maybe even Paranormal Rider. I know he's into like paranormal stuff, um, and I think he actually just did a vlog or something like that where he went into like an abandoned house and was trying to get some footage and stuff. But yes, I'm definitely gonna have to do some research, figure out how to get more people uh, in a live stream and figure this out because that would be really cool. Oh, what time is it, guys? 9:30 Central Time. Patty Outback, the green eyes would be a giveaway. Do you still live in Ireland, Patty? Might be a dumb question. An appropriate color, all right. Yeah, my nephew's friend, one of his best friends, their family moved from Ireland to here, Wisconsin, and his dad owns a construction company, stuff like that. But they still have a house in Ireland. Man, I'm gonna pull it up on Google Maps because forgetting for the life of me what it was. Um, but yeah, they have a house still in Ireland, so they still constantly travel like back and forth. And I've always kind of wanted to ask like, hey, you mind if I pay my way to hang out for a little while? Because I would love to visit like Ireland and Scotland and all that. All right, let's see. We're on Google Maps now because I know where it is. I just don't remember the name. All right, where are we? All right, we're in Ireland. Da da da. Let's see. I want to say Galway, but I don't know. I want to say Galway. That's where they're from. But that seems like I don't know. That seems more. I might have to ask him. But yeah, I could have swore it was Galway. It's probably something else though. My luck. But yeah, oh man, I would love to visit Ireland. I should just message my my nephew and ask. Oh, all right, let me get back here. Let's see. Nope, moved to Australia 10 years ago. Oh, yeah, Outback. Duh, what am I thinking? What about trying to schedule a ghost event with some local folks, Ray? Could record and put it together, then try it live later on. That might be cool. Might be cool. Uh, I'm from just to the south of there, County Clare. Galway is stunning. Yeah, I should really figure out where. I don't know where my phone is. Crap, where's my phone? Well, that's a problem. My phone is. Sir Fleshwound or Moto Carry, send something in the group chat so I can maybe hear a ding and not have it be my watch. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But yeah, oh man, like Ireland, Scotland, I'd love to visit up there. Just the rich like history and everything, culture. That'd be cool. It'd definitely be cool to see. Ghost took Ray's phone. Probably. We'll share the other non-spooky story. I was about 20 years old. Okay, cool. Get another story from Moto Carry. He's sending pics. Okay. We'll share the other non-spooky story. I was about 20 years old, full of piss and vinegar, and not happy with life. This particular night, I was at a Target and walking to my truck. It had passed to another dimension. All right. While Carrie is finishing writing up her story, I will be right back. I am going to go look for my phone real quick and get something to drink. I got dry throat. Okay, I'm back. Found it, by the way. Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping me out with that. All right. I'm going to text my nephew real quick. Hopefully he answers. All right. Wow, that was really weird. Holy cow. That was really weird. So my stream is on like a natural delay or whatever, just because. But yeah, we're back. So I'm sitting here like going on my phone, and I just see like something out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, what is that? But it was just me rejoining. It was it was weird. All right, Bubba. Here we go. Oh, where is it? Hey, where is Shane from? Oh, cool. He's responding. All right. Where is Shane from? It's Shane. Look at that. That's such an Irish name. Shane. Let's see what he says. My nephew's Ireland. Yeah, but what time? All right. Let me get caught up on the comments here. All right, so Motocarry says, all right. So she was she was at Target and walking back to her truck. For some reason, this van full of equally grumpy people was backing out of a parking spot. To this day, don't remember seeing reverse lights, but they almost hit me. The lady driving it leans out of the driver's side window and shouts, "Don't get hit," which stunned me, but did not anger me as much as it normally would have. So I get in my truck and drive off. About 2 blocks away, a speeding car blew a stop sign and came within inches of hitting me, probably going 40 miles an hour. Holy cow. I'm just catching up on Sir Flesh Wound's comments here. What if I have? You have to wait till the next commercial break. But boy, do we have a product for you. All right. Let's see. If I'd gotten super irate at the van lady, I would have been creamed by the speeding car. Let's see. Jeez. Yeah, yeah, Carrie. It's like it's the universe. Yeah, like yeah, the universe works in weird ways like that. Definitely. Suggest idea to advertising. Nope, I lost the license years ago. Shite. I could use some dignity. Well, I think would probably help my YouTube channel grow. But we sell pills that make you feel like you have some. But yeah, Carrie, like something similar happened to me, but you know, it was like one of those things where like I was running late because something happened, and actually this time it happened at work. But again, like I don't know if anything would have actually happened. Um, I'm sorry. Oh, Galway. Yeah. Okay, so I was right. Galway. One of those. Yep. So yeah, my nephew's like best friend is from Galway. So cool. So let's see. It's not spooky, but there's been a few moments life like that. Yeah, definitely. Like one day, this is back when at work we had half days. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Everybody say hi to Coda. This is my little lover boy. This is back when we worked half days at work, and we would leave at like 11:30. There was one half day where I was supposed to leave, but we had gotten busy, so you know I was kind of aggravated and really wanted to get out of there. Um, yeah, thanks, Tony, Sir Flesh Wound. But you know, I really wanted to get out of there, but you know, we had gotten a little busy, so I got out a couple minutes late. So I didn't get right out at 11:30. But on the way home, awesome, great part of the world. A lot of my friends live in Galway City. Oh, that's awesome. But on the way back, or on the way home, um, there was a lady who was hit by a semi, and it had literally just happened because there were no rescue team or anything. There were no police, no rescue. There were people, you know, that had stopped that were assisting, trying to help, and the lady actually passed away. She got hit by the semi truck and died at the scene. And I mean, who knows? I mean, it could have happened minutes either way. But it was, I don't know. It was just weird how it worked out like that, to where, um, you know, just being like aggravated, wanting to get out, but just weird things kept happening that was delaying me from leaving. And you know, on the way home, just you know, seeing that like really bad accident, and it's like I would have gone through that intersection, you know, minutes earlier. So, it's one of those things where it could have been me, but I, could have completely missed it. Who knows? But yeah, Carrie, it's it's universe. The universe works in crazy, mysterious ways. My cat is getting all puffy and lovey. All right, let me catch up on some of these comments here. All right, let me load up here. Let's see. Patty Outback says that was lucky, Carrie. Very lucky. Yep. Good news then. We're out of stock at the moment. It's not spooky, but there's a few moments like that. Tony, Sir Fleshman, said, glad Carrie. Oops. Glad Carrie's still around to haunt me. Way to go, Ray guessed it on the first try. Yes, yep, definitely could have been worse. Let's see. Oh, man. That's awesome. What? Puffy and Lovey. Don't forget everyone. Yep, Carrie, he is the perfect Halloween kitty. Can you still stream on YouTube if you have less than 1,000 subscribers? I think so. You should be able to. Should be able to. If not, you could definitely get in one of my streams. That would be really awesome. That's someone's prison name, Puffy and Lovey. What's up, Coda? What's up, buddy? Yeah, we'll definitely have to schedule something. And it's funny, like I was thinking about having, like trying to find other people to get in tonight's stream, but I don't know. I figured with all the stories that I got of my own, it would have been a while for me to tell my own stories. Desktop only though, not on mobile app. It is cool though going live on mobile. So, Patty, if you are under 1,000 subscribers, once you hit that 1,000, I haven't done it a whole lot, but it is pretty cool, like to go live on mobile because it's like random. You could just be, really, Coda. You could just be, hanging out with people. Yes, Carrie. Yes, yes, yes. We need to have a group game of Cards Against Humanity. Yep, definitely. They blocked it on mobile. What? Scary as Halloween is, it's not as scary as YouTube. Constantly changing the damn rules. You got that right. Yep. Oh man, it's so annoying. So Patty, would you be in on this? Because we have been trying to find some people to join. Moto Carry, Sir Fleshwound, and I, we've kind of been like on and off, like trying to figure out this like Cards Against Humanity. Because we want to do a live stream where we all play Cards Against Humanity, with our own decks and everything, as a whole group, and think it would be so much fun. Yes, yes, you have the expansion packs, awesome. All right, so if Patty is game, I think we have another person. Yes. Says absolutely yes. I'm totally up for it. I'm excited. All right, so now I gotta see if the time difference works for me. Really? What time is it there right now? Because I don't know about you guys over there on the West Coast, but I am thinking it would probably be like around this time. Maybe 8 o'clock again or 9 to do like the Cards Against Humanity. But yeah, that's the thing. Just trying to see like yeah, Carrie. See, that's the thing. It's like we need to set a date because otherwise, it's like just trying to get it all set up. Like I'm the worst with like live streams. It's like I'd like to do more live streams. Oh, it's 12:54 p.m. It's the middle of the afternoon. Okay. All right. Cool. So for you, so Patty, for you, how long are you available for? I guess like how many hours or anything like that. But yeah, like I was saying, like for me, like I want to do more live streams, things like that. Um, but it's just the fact of me, I don't know, like actually putting it down like a date, like I'm gonna do it this day, blah blah blah, and getting it all set up. Tuesday and Thursday night U.S. time is good for me. I don't start work until late those days. Cool. Okay, we could totally do this. I'm excited. I'm excited, Carrie. I believe not only are they upside down, but also in the future. I could do 3 hours or more. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, I'm excited. And then we could probably even do it like on each other's channels, kind of do like a rotation. That'd be pretty fun. Tomorrow's Thursday, just saying. All right. Okay. So first, all right. So yeah, tomorrow is Halloween. Okay. I'm good here. It's gonna be snowing, so trick or treating is like canceled. They rescheduled it for Saturday. So um, yeah, if we wanna do this tomorrow, I think we could do this. Um, just gotta figure out a time, maybe like 8 o'clock again or something. Um, Americans. But yeah, like we'll figure out. We gotta figure this out. Yeah, I'm down. We just gotta figure out whose channel we're doing it on because, um, yeah, we'll just figure out whose channel we're doing it on and figure out how to get the multiple people in here. And ah, okay, maybe we won't do it tomorrow. Maybe it'll give us a little bit of time, unless Carrie, unless we find another person or a couple people to test this out. Maybe we could even test it out. I don't know. Maybe we could just test it out and see. Oh no. We'll be spending the day getting pumped full of MS meds. Multiple sclerosis? I don't want to get too personal in your medical issues. Bummer. How about the 5th? But I know Sir Fleshwound said that he. It's up to you, Sir Fleshwound, if you want to join in on this on camera. But I remember he was saying that he might be able to like do some of the background logistics, um, which could be helpful. But it would still be fun with your wittiness and everything to play. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. Yep, it's a bummer, but shit happens. Yep. Deck maintenance. I seen that. Yep, I seen that one. Yeah, Carrie, haven't messed with it since they ditched Hangouts. Did they actually ditch Hangouts? Oh crap, man! I remember we were having a hard enough time trying to figure out. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. At least this will give us some time to kind of figure it out, iron out some things. Wait until then. Yeah, gives us time for a test run. Not sure what other apps would. Zoom works, but not sure what other apps would. I mean, I know with OBS, I don't know, maybe we'll just have to spend some time on YouTube. Let's YouTube it, figure it out. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I could download Zoom, and yeah. So Moto Carry, do you think you have other people who might want to play? Because I think Chris and Allie might. I'm not sure. Or maybe I could even like do a maybe I could do a garage hangout session with them, and kind of play with them too. Might be cool. bring them along or something. All right, Patty is downloading Zoom right now. You guys will have to remind me later to download Zoom and check that out. Okay, sounds good, Carrie. Oh, I'm excited. We've kind of been planning this for a little while. We've been talking about this for a while. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Yeah, probably just like a couple more people, like 1 to 2 other people would be good. Yep. Sir Flesh would have to figure out the multicam setup. Yep. And um, figure out like, yeah, how, if we're just going to have everybody up, and then I think we talked about it a little bit before, but like who, what do they call it? The card czar or something like that. But yeah, figure out like who would decide who's got the funniest one, and things like that. I don't think we would leave it up to the side chat because there'd be like too much going on to kind of figure that out. But yeah, or we'll just play it like traditional. We'll have the card czar who decides who gets the point or who gets the card, and you know, I mean, granted, it won't be like anonymous as far as like who puts up their cards, but whatever. It'll be a good time. We'll even figure something out. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Sir Fleshwound, pretty much the same. And so Patty says Zoom looks easy. I just send the meeting ID to everyone, and all good. So with Zoom, do they give like a stream code? Because that's what OBS did, or like YouTube gave me a stream code to put into OBS, and then I had to, with OBS, I had to hit start streaming, which then started this stream on YouTube. It's kind of weird how it worked. Only difference would be we have the cameras. Yup, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Oh, real quick. Apple cider. What do you guys know about apple cider? Like, I don't know, out here in the Midwest, I don't know how it is in California. Out here in the Midwest, this kind of goes back to the whole like Halloween thing and harvesting and all that kind of stuff. Out here, apple cider, fall, go hand in hand. For the longest time, I thought apple cider was, some sort of like apple drink, but with a bunch of other stuff added to it, like I don't know, like other ingredients, because apple cider is like thick. White Skin Bandit, I have arrived. Well, howdy. You might want to check. You might want to rewatch this because now we're just BSing. Now I'm BSing about apple cider. But apple cider is literally just pressed pressed apples. It's the literal just juice from a squished apple. I guess there's nothing else that goes into it. It's unpasteurized. It's just apple. It's adult apple juice. See, that's what I thought. I'm like, all right, apple cider. It's got like stuff in it. But no, I don't know. It's thicker apple juice. It's unfiltered, unpasteurized apple drink. But I found what actually tastes pretty good is Jack Daniel's apple, or no, not Jack Daniel's, Jim Beam apple, and a little apple cider, a little hot apple cider. It's I definitely needed it the other night when my niece was over with my son. A 5 and a 7-year-old. I was losing my mind. Uh, all right, let's see. Let me catch up on here. Um, White Skin Bandit. It's bubbly. Uh, Hello, pale organ thief. Organ thief? What? I am the son of the wound. I understand the BS. What's up, Tham's World? I am having a great day. I am having a great day. Thank you for asking. How are you? I hope everybody is having a very awesome day. I should say, after I left work, I was having a great day. Um, yeah, work today was a little much the past couple of days, and then after lunch, I had um, I had Panda Express. Whenever I eat Panda Express, like after lunch, I am done. I'm just like done for the day. Patty Outback, I'll have to work it out. Blah blah, stupid technology. We'll get this figured out, Patty. We'll get this figured out. Tham's doing good. Awesome to hear. It's hump day. I mean, for Patty, it's already Thursday, so that's cool. For us, it's the end of hump day. It's been a great day there too. Good to hear. Excuse me, guys. And I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking. This is just this is like juice, not gin and juice, just juice. All right, so now that we got a couple more people in here, Thams, White Skin Bandit, are you guys up for a little Cards Against Humanity? A little Cards Against Humanity stream? Yeah, exactly, Thams. Yep. Oh God, yeah. After I ate Panda, it was a straight food coma. Um, oh God, it was terrible. And then the other guys in our department, um, yeah, they drugged me. Yeah, the other guys in our department, um, it's like yeah, after lunch, nobody had any motivation. And luckily, so I take lunch from noon to 1. I leave at 3:30. So luckily, I didn't have to be there for very much longer. But oh man, everybody was just like, ugh, yeah, no motivation the rest of the day. So I don't know how much the rest of the guys got done, but whatever. Thams, I'm up for anything. Cool. Moto carry. Patty Outbacks are flesh wound. Oh wait, there's more. Yes, we will definitely pass any knowledge on to you, Patty. Um, yep, it would be awesome. It would be definitely awesome uh, to get this figured out. I'm sure, I don't know, what do you guys think? Like sometime this week, maybe figure out like some more of the logistics, figure out some more of the logistics and maybe give it a little test run. So, Thams, you might have to join in, or you might have to rewatch this or skip through it, because yeah, we already went through some of our ghost stories, our spooky stories, and we even shared some. Sir Fleshwound has a pretty cool spooky Ouija board story. Um, so you might want to just like scroll through the live chat too, and check some of this out. But yeah, I did a little background of like what I think Halloween is or where it came from, um, all that kind of stuff, and then went into the spooky stories. Had Sir Flesh Wound, Moto Carry, Patty Outback talked about his experience, his spooky experience with his dog. Um, so yeah, we are 2 hours into the stream. So if any of you latecomers want to go back after this has ended and just kind of scroll through, if anything, uh, if you find anything interesting, I had about like 9 different stories personally that have happened to me as far as like weird type of like paranormal stuff. So that was probably within the first hour, and then after the first hour, just as a recap, after the first hour, we just started BSing about whatever. It's your flesh wound. That's funny. I'm excited. We're gonna have a fun stream. Cards Against Humanity. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm excited. I have to get this all figured out. Well, guys, I think it's 10 o'clock out here in Wisconsin. So I think I'm going to call it a night. But, yes, we'll get this thing figured out with Patty and figure out what we're going to do for this live stream for the Cards Against Humanity. Oh, going to be so much fun. I can't wait. Open road vlogs. Oh God, I'm nervous now. What are you nervous for? It's gonna be a good time. You nervous for Cards Against Humanity? Or what? Now, Carrie and Sir Fleshbone, do you guys have the expansion packs too? Yes, Sir Flesh Wound. Yes. Thank you, Thams. I think I'm gonna stick around just a little bit longer. But yes, definitely good to catch up with you, even for a short bit. Definitely. And yeah, Thams, I am planning on getting some more live streams in. Open road vlogs. Yes, Cards Against Humanity. It is going to be so much fun with this group. With this group, it is going to be a blast. Yep. See, and that's funny, Patty. Like, it's so weird that, like, I didn't know if Australia was the same, but like New Zealand, our winter is like their summer. So if it's the same for you, that is so weird. Carrie. Yeah, I think. Wow, what did we have? We think we still have it up there. We got the bigger, blacker box. That was a good one, and it has a hidden card inside. You have to, after you take off the lid, if you have the bigger, blacker box, I don't know if any of you other guys have it, but on the bigger, blacker box, if you open it up, you might see like an indent of a card. It's like an extra special card. You literally have to cut the package open, and you have to cut it open and actually get that extra card out. So just a little tip. Yep, yep, yep. There'll definitely be a little bit of downtime. It would be cool. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think of? What do you guys think of any kind of video game streams? What are you guys into as far as like video game streams? Thams says, I was hoping for one more warm day to get a real vlog in. I've been stuck on music for way too long. Yeah, yep. I'm telling you, yeah. I think I got my last like decent vlogs in. I still got a few to edit. Um, yeah, definitely. Oh God, Sir Flesh Wound, not this again. Oh, not this again. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. All right, I'm not going to do it this time. Yeah. But step one, you cut a hole in the box. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, Thams. Yeah, I have, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 actual vlogs that I still have to edit. I'm Thams. Oh God, I just read this. I had a bigger, blacker box once. Her name was Quantifa. Oh. Yeah, I won't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh my God, he's getting out the box. Oh. So, yeah, if you guys are lost, you might have to go to one of my other live streams. Uh, think I have this streaming sorted. If anyone fancies it, head to my channel once RayRay's finished. I shall go live. Awesome. Awesome. I'm actually probably going to finish up here. White Skin Bandit. Oh dear, not the box. No, Ray. What's in the box? Oh, tell me what's in the box. Oh man, don't encourage him. Yeah, if you guys don't know about the box, I don't know. I forget the name. I forget which one that was. Um, I forget which one that was, but it was a stream where I think I said like it quickly went off the rails. Let's just say I broke out the box, and I put a hole in the box, and if you want to watch the rest, head over and check out that video. It was a good time. It was a good time. Oh man. Oh god, you guys are something else. Alright, let me catch up on some of these comments. Okay, so Patty is going to be going live. Let's see. Thams, I used to stream. I use Steam for a lot of games. Yep. I need to get a gaming PC, guys. That's what I need to do. I only can do PC games. Is the box full of candy and Smokies? You could call it a candy, I guess. It was more of a vegetable. It was more of a long vegetable. It was what? Oh, okay. It was full of cheese in winter. Oh, that's a low blow, Sir Flesh Moon. That's a low blow. Oh, you know what? I'll be right back. All right, so I meant to show this to Carrie while she was here, but this has been sitting by my front door on the key rack for what, almost going on a year now. So I meant to show this to Carrie, but it's hanging on the key rack right by the door. I still got it. When are you out? Just don't. Please wait while we entertain you with this. Yes, we're back. Oh God. Spring is here. Spring is here. No, this is my spring. Back in the dead of winter, Sir Fleshwound was so awesome, and he felt like I could use a little spring. So he literally sent me a little spring. And yeah, I've been hanging it on the key rack next to the door, so each time I leave the house, especially in the wintertime now, when I leave the house, I can just look over and just think, I still got my little spring. Each day I come home, I got my little spring to hold on to. That's the biggest spark plug I've ever seen. That's what she said. Oh. God, Carrie. I was just thinking Michael Scott whenever she says that. You do, Sir Fleshmoon, you care so much. Like, this cheered me up so much to have my little spring. Yeah, whenever, yep. I'm just going to start calling Carrie, what should I call her? Michael Scott. What goes with Michael Scott and Moto Carrie? Moto Scott? Nah. spring forward, fall back. Sorry, it's the only way I know to remember daylight savings time. Yeah, daylight savings time. That's going to be starting here pretty soon, isn't it? Soon you'll be curled up with it weeping for spring. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you know what? I'll probably be playing. It'll probably give me a lot more time to be playing like Forza Horizon and stuff like that with you. Holy shit, it's working. All right, guys. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this stream and let's head over to Patty Outback and go check out his stream. So I will see you all over there. So yeah, I'll see you guys over there. For everybody who checked out this stream tonight, thanks for hanging out. It was a lot of fun to hear your guys' stories, and I hope you enjoyed mine. So until next one, guys, I will talk to you guys later. I love you, and I'll see you over at Patty Outback. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.